Proposed by James.
I'll remember to do this time. James Cowans, Renfrew 61. Education Scotland and SQA, as you're all aware, are the kind of main drivers for our education. SQA drive the senior phase through national qualifications, where this is continued to change to the learning outcomes. Education Scotland have been steering curriculum change through CFE, their E's and O's, how good is your school, and benchmarks, and national testing. Do these organisations speak to each other? When they decide to develop and introduce their changes that they have done over the several years now. As we see, as has been mentioned several times over today, our workload increasing. And not to contradict Mr. Sweeney, I'm still looking for that reduction in our workload, as he seems to think he has done. Now, one little area where you would hope that it would be communicating would be, for example, CFE, Level 4, National 4. I'm sure if once you've looked at your E's and O's and your learning outcomes for these levels, do they actually articulate? Right? So wait a minute, let's go back to the professional judgment thing again. If we have to make a professional judgment on Level 4 CFE, on the judgment that the pupil will go into National 5, if they don't articulate, do we be confident about the professional judgment? So, how well are these changes managed? And this is what this whole motion's about, right? It's about the management of those changes. And can we get them to talk to ourselves as a professional organisation before they decide to throw things at us, right? Neither organisation provides resource materials for teaching. However, they do produce an awful lot of paper giving guidance. Right? Teachers are used to working long hours, going that extra mile. What exasperates the year is when the changes are put upon teachers with little or no warning, timelines having to be altered, and development time gained from what is now the ever-extending day. Stress levels rise, health and well-being of teachers goes on a holiday. One of Education Scotland's strategic objectives begins in pursuing its mission. Education Scotland is committed to working collaboratively in partnership, and goes on from there. It would be hoped by getting agreed timeframes that teachers will be helped to manage the chain. Let's collaborate. Please support this motion.
Peter Thorburn, Dundee, Delegate 15. Colleagues, how often have we sat, twisting our thumbs, waiting for the paperwork and the resources that we are promised from Education Scotland and SQA, only for these to arrive at a time that suits that organisation producing them for us, produced and presented in a way that works for that organisation with their personnel and workload commitments. How often have we had multiple initiatives, policy changes and changes to national courses dropped on us all at the one time, or with time frames that suit the body producing them? No thought or discussion as to the time that teachers need to read, digest, and work on these to put them usefully into practice. while at the same time having a full teaching commitment. Some people think teachers have downtime. You and I know that's not true. Now, we come to another R word. Respectfully, if we're going to ask for time to teach and everything that means, then it's only fair that we respect their needs based on their resources. That's fair. But what we can't agree with is the one-side ignoring of secondary school teachers having a work year that is very defined, whether we like it or not, by examinations. Our working year is not something that's been hidden. It's been the same for the 30 years that I've been teaching. We have an endpoint, if you like, exams, and then an immediate change of timetable where we start teaching next year's courses. Holidays, which we have roughly at the same time every year. And yet, as an example, the SQA in the last couple of days have decided to have understanding standard events for one subject, 2 events, both in the first week in October, I believe it is, when most of the schools in Scotland are on holiday. No, to ignore teachers' commitments, work patterns, and working hours is disrespectful. So let the SSTA say things need to change. Let the SSTA have a considered and professional conversation with Education Scotland and the SQA to respect each other's available time, respect the different working year commitments that we both have, and respect the resources, including time, that we have. I ask you to accept this motion.
Is there any contributions for the floor? Move to a vote. All those in favour? Against? And abstaining? And that was carried unanimously.